An important hearing on the Freddie Gray case takes place in Baltimore. Good evening. This is CTV News. I'm Sonia Srivastava.
And I'm Patricia Vallone. Thank you for joining us. Well, a judge, go ahead.
A judge has denied a motion to change the venue in the Freddie Gray trials. 6 police officers have been charged in connection with Gray's death, and today a judge ruled that they can get fair trials in Baltimore. Now, you may recall there were days of protest and rioting following the incident back in April. Today, protesters outside the courthouse cheered the trial stays here. Attorneys for the officers argue that the case has gotten too much publicity and the recent multi-million-dollar settlement can sway jurors.
After the death of his daughter and her co-worker on live television, the father of Virginia journalist Allison Parker vowed to do whatever it takes to prevent similar incidents from happening again. Today, gun safety advocates held a rally as part of Whatever It Takes Day on Capitol Hill. Attendees came from various states to support the effort to end gun violence. They're calling on Congress to pass legislation to strengthen background checks for firearm purchasers.
People have to understand that my safety, my liberty, is more important than a gun. My constitutional rights are violated every day, that I have to be concerned that my child will not come home from school and that my mother will be killed in church. And they need to understand that. And if they're not going to change the laws, then we're going to change them.
Children are gunned down and they do nothing. They suffer from such hubris that they are afraid of the gun lobby because they're afraid that they won't be reelected.
The NRA doesn't speak for members. It speaks for gun manufacturers, and it's funded by gun manufacturers. And what gun manufacturers want is to sell as many weapons as they can to as many people as they can in whatever frequency they can.
And speakers included family members of victims, community leaders, and elected officials such as Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe. Well, another year, another shutdown. Congress returns to work this week, facing a looming deadline that has many in the Washington metro area bracing for impact. Lawmakers have 9 legislative days to pass a funding bill before the new fiscal year starts on October 1st. If the House and Senate cannot reach an agreement, the result will be a repeat of the 2013 federal government shutdown. Today on Capitol Hill, several House Democrats, including Maryland Congressman Chris Van Hollen, called for immediate negotiations to avoid a budget crisis. Van Hollen also introduced the Prevent a Government Shutdown Act of 2015.
Establishment of a bipartisan negotiating committee, House, Senate, Republicans, Democrats, to try to avoid the shutdown, and to do so in a way that lifts these caps.
It's past time for the GOP to put away this ideological brinksmanship, and it's really past time that we come to the table, that they come to the table with us, actually, and join us in governing responsibly.
The budget is about more than numbers on a ledger. It's about people, and people are hurting back home. And it's important that we put politics aside and we come together to find a bipartisan way to find some relief in our budget.
Democrats and Republicans are using the budget process to push their agendas on issues ranging from Planned Parenthood funding to international nuclear deals.
Representative Steny Hoyer says he will back the pending nuclear agreement with Iran despite some of his concerns. The Southern Maryland lawmaker says the deal is not one which he would have negotiated, but he will support it to send a signal of unity to U.S. allies. Now, under the agreement, Iran would allow stronger inspections of its nuclear sites in exchange for the lift of economic sanctions. Hoyer is requesting that a congressional oversight committee be set in place to monitor the pact's implementation. Meantime, supporters of paid sick leave legislation attend a press conference to back a bill that would allow employees to earn 7 full days of leave a year. Council members, impacted workers, and advocacy organizations were in attendance this afternoon. Now, according to Casa de Maryland, more than 130,000 Prince George's residents are unable to receive paid time off for illness. Many backers of the bill say they are ready for the county council to vote on the issue.
Economic security, that working parents be able to get paid when they need a day off if they are sick or their child is sick.
Everybody needs sick leave. You know, it becomes hard to make that choice between staying home because you're sick or you have a sick child and going to work to keep your job.
It's just unfortunate that people have to determine whether or not they go to work or they take care of themselves or they take care of their kids, or even this also applies if you're a domestic violence victim. So if you have to go and get treatment for that. So there's major benefits to legislation like this for working people.
Now, you may recall back in July, Montgomery County Council passed a similar bill. And stay where you are. We have much more coming up. You're watching CTV News. I'm Sonia Srivastava.
And I'm Patricia Vallone. Up next,